Hi y'all, it's Andrea and I'm about to take you inside of my home studio. This is a space that inspires me, brings me joy, and makes me excited to create. That was the mission of our year-long challenge over at Studio 365, which is my creative community. Years ago, I found this quote and it really captures my design aesthetic. In fact, I keep it hanging here right outside of my studio door to remind me, some people look for a beautiful place, others make a place beautiful. And that really is the gist of my process when I am setting up and maintaining a creative studio. You want to work with what you have, and you want to create a space that inspires you and is highly functional. So that's going to be just as unique as you are. So shall we go inside and see what I've done with this new space that I'm thinking of as my forever studio?
Sorry, oh I know you're sorry, but I heard the story, so if you're gonna lie to me like that, if you're gonna lie to win me back, if you're gonna spin it round like this, and you're gonna make me sit through it, why don't you make it fun to listen to, make it something I don't see right through. If you're gonna say it, if you're gonna say it, then at least be more creative. At least be more creative. Or better yet, don't even say it.
Now that you've had a look around, let me point out some of the aspects of the studio that really inspire me and some of them that are highly functional. When you enter in the door here to the left, I have a glass cabinet, which I ordered from IKEA, and that is what I am now using to hold my books. I have a fair amount of books that inspire creativity, as well as those that just inspire me to be a better human being. And then immediately past that, I have my ironing station here, and I like to use one of the extra wide ironing boards. I have not yet found a solution for ironing that is well integrated into the space because I prefer to use the steam iron. So at this point, I am still very much committed to a traditional ironing board. And this little chair that you see down there is very special to me. It hung on my grandmother's wall above her fireplace for all of my childhood. And when she passed away, my mother brought that across the country for me. So my grandmother sewed as well, and she was a very creative human being. So I like to keep that here in my happy place to remind me of her. I have a day bed in here that I use like a couch. I'm currently in the process of designing a custom quilt for that. These are Mary Washington blocks that you see here that I've been working on. They were actually pretty challenging, and I have my first block in there, which is far from perfect. And then as I've progressed, I've gotten better and better at those points. So that quilt will coordinate with the design wall, which I have a little further out and we'll take a look at here in a moment. And it will cover this day bed. And then I'm going to continue to collect pillows and just make that a really comfy place where I can complete my homework, hang out, write blog posts, social media and such, edit content. I just needed a place that was nice and squishy and comfy for me. So on the wall here, you may recognize the artwork from my previous studio. This was all made especially for me by my daughter Megan, And she always customizes my pieces with lots of color because she knows how much I love color. So you will see a lot of Megan's artwork in my space to keep me inspired, as well as a lot of words of inspiration. I love to surround myself with words of inspiration. I think even if you're not necessarily paying attention to the message, it is sinking in. So you will notice that is one of the main themes of my creative space. Here I have a little workstation that I've set up with my rainbow cards, which I got at the Michaels. The top on this desk is from IKEA, and it fits beautifully on top of two of those cards and makes a really nice counter height workstation. So this is where I paint my nails, set up my planner, and currently I am indulging in a little watercolor painting. Then this gorgeous mannequin here, her name is Macy, and I got her as a special treat when I opened my brick and mortar boutique in Middleburg, Virginia in 2012, I believe. That's been closed for some time now, but she came all the way from the UK, and I still love her as much as the day I got her. And I think the woman who makes these mannequins, she sold them on Etsy, and I think it was called Corset Lace Mannequins. Then over here, I have a glorious workstation crafted from two of the IKEA tabletops. And then underneath are 3 origami carts. I'll show you under there in a moment. And then above that are 4 IKEA shelves. And this station is awesome. It holds extra fabric, my create sign, which is how I start any creative session, is by plugging in that create sign. My embroidery machine, another iMac, my Cricut, some vinyl. There's the Mad Hatter hanging out in the corner. And then some more watercolor paints. My embroidery floss is up there. Got my washi tape. This is the one piece I have that was a collaboration between Megan and Isabel, and I love that as well. This piece over here is all Isabel, and she was so excited. She was like in the 1st grade when she brought that home for me. So I really love to keep the children's artwork in here because children are the embodiment of creativity. So under here, let me give you a look. These are the origami cards, they're called. You can find them on Amazon. They're amazing. They're super heavy duty, and as the name implies, they unfold or fold up like origami. And so this is basically the machine station. I have my sublimation printer, my regular printer, multiple machines and sergers. And as mentioned, there are 3 of those, and they go all the way back. So just this week, I added this great curtain, which I really, really like. Obviously, lots of color, but this fabric is special to me. It's hand-blocked fabric from India, and it was selected by my mentor, Amy Butler. Many of you may remember Amy Butler. She's basically the modern day grandmother of quilting fabric. I sewed those panels together and created this colorful, vibrant curtain that hides the machines and keeps the dust off of them. So installing this in these IKEA tabletops was a breeze because there are pre-drilled holes underneath of the IKEA tabletops for the legs that are supposed to go with them. I just screwed in some 1 5/8 inch cup hooks and then hung some white curtain rods right on top of there and thread my new curtain through the rod, and there I have something that is really inspirational and functional. So I actually haven't used my embroidery machine since I stopped selling on Etsy. So in 2024, I need to get that out and fire it up, see if it still works, and have a little fun with the embroidery. This is kind of my technology station. On top there, I have all my cameras, tripods, lenses, all that good stuff. Then next to that, I have my mug press for the sublimation mugs. This is my camera bag, which I actually do have a pattern for, as well as a video. Some little cubby boxes, which are also from IKEA. And then underneath, I have 2 bins of home decor fabric. The bin on the left is all of the big duck fabric I still have to sew through, and the bin on the right is flannel, corduroy, leather, and cork. And then in the back, I have a whole bundle of fleece I still need to sew through. And back here in the corner, this is where all the magic will unfold in 2024. This is my primary sewing station here, where I work on the Juki TL 2000. And then on occasion, when I need some specialty stitches, I will work on the Janome Skyline S3. And then back here is where I do my cutting. These are my quilting cottons that I'm working with right now. These are all the fun holiday prints that I really still need to get through before Christmas. So that's what we'll be using up in these last few tutorials. And then over at Studio 365, we have been crocheting on a regular basis. So I've stocked up on some yarn, some more gorgeous quilting fabrics. And then of course I have this view, which it's kind of overcast here today and the leaves are gone off the trees. But most of the year, it is a really spectacular view. I am very grateful to have a window. Here is my second Mac, which this is actually a brand new computer, and I am intentionally keeping it as bare minimum as possible because I'm going to use it for my live streams in 2024. More about my plans for the channel in my end of year video, but there will definitely be a lot more live content. So in addition to the items that I've pointed out here, I'd like to also point out that I maximize my space with carts. I have a lot of carts all tucked in little containers that I just tuck in all the little spots. And that's where the miscellaneous things go. I have my interfacing back here, more hardware. Behind these color blocks, more opportunities for goodies. There's another cart here underneath the sewing table. Those are my paper patterns, and 2 more carts. So I try to keep the carts organized, and I try to assign a function to each cart or bin. But the carts and the bins are really how I do maintain the space. I personally like to see my possessions. And so to me, being able to see what I have is actually part of the creative process. You may be the kind of person that needs everything behind a cupboard, and there's no right or wrong. Again, remember, you just want to create a space that inspires you, is comfortable, and functional for you. So I'd like to thank you for taking this time with me today here in the studio. I hope you're inspired to make some improvements to your space, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
If you're gonna lie to me like that, if you're gonna lie to win me back, if you're gonna spin it around like this. Make it something I